गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल 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 बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। सीताराम सीताराम, भज मन प्यारे सीताराम। सीताराम सीताराम, भज मन प्यारे सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। भद्रगिरीश्वर सीताराम, भक्त जना प्रिय सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। आत्मा राम आनंद रमण, आत्मा राम आनंद रमण। अच्युत केशव हरि नारायण, अच्युत केशव हरि नारायण। आत्मा राम आनंद रमण, अच्युत केशव हरि नारायण। भव भय हरणा वंदित चरणा, भव भय हरणा वंदित चरणा। रघुकुल भूषण राजीव लोचन, रघुकुल भूषण राजीव लोचन। आत्मा राम आनंद रमण, अच्युत केशव हरि नारायण। आत्मा राम आनंद रमण, अच्युत केशव हरि नारायण। आदि नारायण अनंत शयना, आदि नारायण अनंत शयना। सच्चिदानन्द श्री सत्यनारायण सच्चिदानन्द श्री सत्यनारायण आत्मा रामा आनन्द रमण अच्युत केशव हरिनारायण आत्मा रामा आनन्द रमण अच्युत केशव हरिनारायण श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव अच्युत केशव हरिनारायण आत्मा राम आनंद रमण अच्युत केशव हरिनारायण भवभयहरणा वन्दित चरणा भवभयहरणा वन्दित चरणा रघुकुलभूषण राजीवलोचन रघुकुलभूषण राजीवलोचन आत्मा राम आनंद रमण अच्युत केशव हरिनारायण आदिनारायण
Device disconnected.
Namaskar, everyone. Please stand as we welcome the procession of the graduates, accompanied by Vedic chants in praise of knowledge and discipline from Taittiriya Upanishad.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Shanna Mitrasyam Varunaha Shanna Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indra Brihaspatihi Shanna Vishnurarakramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Ratam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmavavado Tadvaktaramavado Avado Mam Avado Bhaktaram Om Shanti 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 Siksham Vyakyashyamaha Varnasvaraha Matrabalam Samasantanaha Ityuktashikshaadhyayaha Sahanau Yashaha Sahanau Brahmavachasam Athatasagam Hidaya Upanishadam Vyakyashyamaha Panchasvadhikaraneshu Adhilokamadhijaudhitamadhividyamedhiprajamadhyatmam Tamahasagam hitayitya-chakshate Athadhilokam prithivipurvarupam Dyaurattararopam Akasasandhihi Vayusandhanam Ityadhilokam Athadhijyaudisham Agnih Parvarupam Adityavuttararupam Apasandhihi Vaidyadasandhanam.
Keep standing as I invite Annalisa Singh to recite the National Pledge and National Anthem of Guyana.
Namaskar, everyone. Please place your right hand across your chest. I pledge myself to honor always the flag of Guyana and to be loyal to my country, to be obedient to the laws of Guyana, to love my fellow citizens, and to dedicate my energies towards the happiness and prosperity of Guyana. Dear land of Guyana, of rivers and plains, made rich by the sunshine and flushed by the rains, set gem-like and fair between mountains and seas. Your children salute you, dear land of the free. Green land of Guyana, our heroes of yore, bondsmen and free, laid their bones on your shore. This soil so they hallowed, and from them are we We are born of their sacrifice, heirs of their pains, and ours is the glory their eyes did not see. One land of 6 peoples, united and free. Dear land of Guyana, do you will we give our homage, your service each day that we live. God guard you, great mother, and make us to be more worthy our heritage, land of the free. Thank you.
Thank you. Please take your seats. Swamiji, Dr. Ritesh Tularam, representative of the Office of the Minister of Education, Dr. Randolph Prasad, advisor in the Office of the President, respected guest speaker, Dr. Kumar Mohabir, Mr. Pat Dayal, recipient of the Leader in Educational Award, Mr. Ravidev, Ms. Bonita Harris, Mr. Shabir Hussain, Mr. Hemraj Kisoon, special invitees, parents, teachers, students, members of the graduating class of 2022, friends and well-wishers of SVN, too numerous to mention, Namaskar. Since SVN's first batch of CSEC students in 2005 and CAPE students in 2014, the institution has gained a reputation of producing some of the best students at CSEC and CAPE, and this year was no different. As such, we are gathered here to celebrate the achievements of SVN's class of 2022. The chairperson of today's program is Ms. Sunita Susankar. Sunita is from SVN's class of 2013, and she was among the school and country's top performers. She has achieved an associate degree in accounting and a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Pace University. In addition, she has recently graduated with a Master's of Business Administration and is currently at law school in the US. With all of these, Sunita assists her parents in 2 areas of their businesses, as a supply chain manager and an executive secretary. Traveling is her passion, and she also volunteers at SVN and as a legal aid at a law firm. With that being said, let's welcome Ms. Sunita as she leads us through this afternoon's program.
Thank you for that gracious welcome, UVTG. Namaskar, everyone. Sorry, I'm a bit taller than the normal height. Swamiji used to call me Lang Naini for 5 years. Thank you for that gracious welcome, UVTG, and Namaskar, everyone. And a special welcome to our 18th Dikshant Samarop, our graduation ceremony. Thank you to everyone who's here today physically and those that are joining us virtually. Let me first offer my congratulations to the class of 2022. I can only imagine how amazing it feels to be here today. Being here to celebrate with you guys is truly an honor. I would have never, ever in my wildest dreams guessed that at my own graduation ceremony 9 years ago that I would have the honor of being here with you guys. Graduation is symbolic and it's the celebration and summation of all of our accomplishments, hard work that we've achieved throughout the years. The ceremony is designed to mark the end of one phase of our lives as we transition into another phase. And as an alumna of SVN, I can confidently say that SVN has prepared us for this transition. And I'm sure the class of 2022 who's sitting here today can attest to that. With that being said, it is traditional as we invite our grade 10 students to recite the opening prayers. So I'll now call on our grade 10 students to do the opening prayers for us.
वसते लक्ष्मीः करमध्ये सरस्वतीः करमूले तु गोविन्दः प्रभाते करदर्शनम् समुद्रवसने देवी पर्वतस्तनमण्डले विष्णुपति नमस्तोभ्यं पारस्परशं क्षमस्व मे ॐ नमः सच्चिदानन्द रूपाय परमात्मने ज्योतिर्मय स्वरूपाय विश्वमाङ्गल्यमूर्तये प्रकृतिः पञ्चभूतानि ग्रहालोकास्वरास्तथा दिशः कालश्च सर्वेषां सदा कुर्वन्तु मङ्गलम् ब्रह्मा मुरारी श्रीपुरान्तकारी भानु शशि भूमिसुतो बुधश्च गुरुश्च शुक्रः शनिराहुकेतवः कुर्वन्तु सर्वे मम सुप्रभातम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावरीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ सरस्वती नमस्तोभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा या कुन्देन्दुतुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माशुकशङ्करा प्रभृतिभिर्देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मा पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेषचार्यापः शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारसारपरमाम् आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीं वीणापुस्तकधारिणीमभयरां जार्यान्तकारापः हस्ते स्वातिकमालिकां विदरतीं पद्मासने संस्थितां वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवतीं बुद्धिप्रदां शारदाम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम्
Thank you, students of grade 10, for that recitation. We'll now have the Deepa Pravalanta, the lighting of the ceremonial lamp done by SVN's top graduating students, who are Pagmati Sarendranath, Nayasri Madhu, and Atishta Sinarain. The lighting of the ceremonial lamp is another tradition here at SVN.
दीपो हरति मे पापं दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते ॐ शुभं करोतु कल्याणम् आरोग्यं सुखसम्पदं मवविरं प्रकाशं च दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते.
Thank you, students. The lighting of the lamp is very auspicious, as we all know. With that being done, we'll now introduce Rafina Mustafa G to the stage for the presentation of the awards and prizes for the CSEC and CAPE certificates.
Namaskar, everyone. In this segment of the program, we honor all of our graduating students at both CSEC and CAPE. They would have written the exams this year in May, June. We'll first begin by calling on all our CSEC and CAPE students to receive their certificates. I also want to call on some members of the audience to assist us in handing over these certificates. So I'd like to call on Mrs. Ashmi Singh. She is our CAPE law teacher here. The students are as follows. Kindly give them a round of applause as they make their way to the stage. Arib Abdul, Bibi Shabana Ali, Fiona Bakas, Sachin Balgobin, Janelle Bhagwandin, Parmeshri Bhadranath, Parthiv Birbal, Hemawati Budhu, Nia Budram, Nikaj Bhusham, Kevin Campbell, Netram Chintaman. Come on, let's give them a round of applause. I would like to ask Mr. Mark Amen to prepare to come to the stage next. He's our CAPE Information Technology and Economics teacher. The next set of students will be Shem Chong, Saurav Deodat, Navindra Deonarayan, Nandita Dhanraj, Devaki Dipchan, Sahana Dubey, Asmita Gitram, Zidin Glasgow, Anasha Gobin, Ria Hanif, Sahana Haridat, and Shailendra Hariprasad. Thank you, Ashmiji. So again, we have Shem Chong, Saurav Deodat, Navindra Deonarayan, Nandita Dhanraj, Devaki Dipchan, Sahana Dubey, Asmita Gitram, Zidin Glasgow, Anasha Gobin, Ria Hanif, Sahana Haridat, and Shailendra Hariprasad. Next, I'd like to ask Ms. Bonita Harris to prepare to come onto the stage to assist us. Ms. Bonita Harris is a longtime friend of SVN. The next set of students will be Alia Hopkinson, Shania Jetu, Ria Kanhai, Leah Khan, Samantha Kisoon, Bandika Kushyal, Vashesh Lekram, Daniel Lloyd, Naya Srimadhu, Rohini Mahangi, Nashad Mohammed, Shiv Narain. Thank you, Mark G. I'll now ask Mr. Shabir Hussain to prepare to come to the stage. He is also a longtime friend and supporter of SVN. The next batch of students, Suraya Narain, Crystal Nurse, Yogeshwar Ori, Yogita Patram, Hemkumari Paul, Emily Prasad, Lavina Prasad, Madevi Prasad, Sukhvir Prasad, Susanna Prasad, thank you Bonita ji, Amanda Pierre, Vimla Rambaran, Kuvita Ramdular, Vinay Ramharak. The next group of students will be Nisha Ram Sarendranath, Alvin Sibarat, Bhumesh Sibarat, Yuvita Sibaran, Romain Sidhari, Ashta Sitaram. Thank you, Shabir ji. I'd like to call on Mr. Roshad A.C. Lal to assist us in making some presentations next. This set of students will be Samaya Shakil, Anjali Singh, Ariana Singh, Rodika Singh, Sanjana Singh, Surendra Singh, Valisha Singh, Gabriel Small, Hemrat Sukhu, Darshani Sukhdev, Mohammed Sultan, Satyanand Tejbali, Novina Tiwari, Isha Tulsiram, Anand Vivekanand, Annalisa Zaman. Thank you, Mr. Khan. And there we had SVN's class of 2022 for CSEC. Let's give them a grand round of applause. SVN was also the first school on the west coast of Demerara to begin offering CAPE classes. And so at this event, we also like to celebrate the achievements of our CAPE students. I will now call on Mr. Omar Besoun, a longtime friend of SVN and supporter, to help us to make these presentations. Our CAPE Year 1 graduating class comprises 10 students: Rebecca Bhagan, Kristen Bola, Roy Kedu, Ronaldo Kemchan, Tamesh Kisundayal, Vikram Lekram, Savitri Mahadeo, Darshini Prasad, Indrani Vanlang, Jinming Zhu. Please give them a round of applause as they make their way to the stage. Our Unit 2 students are Shamika Baldeo, Priya Budanlal, Shiv Narang Chetram, Shiv Shankar Chetram, Isabella Hussain, Farzana Kasim, Atish Sinarain, Chitra Singh. Thank you, Omar Ji. I'd now like to call on a very special member of the audience, Dr. Nandini Singh. She was a student of SVN from the class of 2011, and she is now a doctor. She will assist us in making the presentations to our Year 2 students. Shamika Baldeo, Priya Budanlal, Shiv Narang Chetram, Shiv Shankar Chetram, Isabella Hussain, Farzana Kasim, Atish Sinarain, Chitra Singh. Thank you. Let us give our CAPE students a big round of applause. We also celebrate the accomplishments of those students who gained 8 and more grade 1s at CSEC. These trophies are sponsored by the Digamber family. I'd now like to call on Mr. Digamber, who is present here, to assist us in making some presentations. The students who will be receiving this trophy are Leah Khan, Padmani Ramnarayan, Atishta Sitaram, Devi Ramlochan, Anasha Gobind. This year we had 29 students who got 8 and more grade 1s at CSEC. Next, I'd like to call on Mr. Hemraj Kisun, a longtime supporter of SVN, to assist us in making some presentations. The other students are Emily Prasad, Anjali Singh, Crystal Nurse, Sukhvir Prasad, Susanna Prasad, Vimla Rambaran, Lavina Prasad. Thank you, Mr. Digamber. Come on, let's clap for these students. 8 and more grade 1s. Mr. Malcolm Harry Paul will assist us in making some presentations next. The other students with 8 and more grade 1s, Rohini Mahangi, Navindra Deonarayan, Nisha Ramalakhan, Netram Chintaman, Asmita Gitram, Alvin Sibarat, Parthiv Birbal, Romain Sidhari, Devaki Dipchan, Valisha Singh, Sahana Haridat, Darshni Sukhdeo, Anand Vivekanand. Thank you, Mr. Kisun. All right, there we had our students who gained 8 and more grade 1s at CSEC. Let's give them a round of applause. All right, We also want to recognize our most outstanding CAPE student. So this year we have Atishta Sunarayan, who completed 2 years of CAPE at SVN, and she gained 18 units with all grade 1s. Let's welcome Atishta Sunarayan. She will be receiving the Principal's Award of Excellence presented by Swami Aksharananda Ji. Come on, let's give Atishta a round of applause. All right, Atishta is one student who exemplifies SVN in every way. She is the type of student who makes her teachers look at her in awe, and she's an inspiration to everyone around her. So I'll just like to call on her. Oh, Swamiji would like to say something.
So I'm really sorry to interrupt the program, but the presentation of that trophy and the certificate is not all. The top CAPE student this year will receive a cash prize of $500,000.
Thank you very much, Swamiji. That came as a surprise. Dr. Ritesh Talaram, representative of the Office of the Minister of Education, respected guest speaker, special invitees, friends and well-wishers of SVN, Swamiji, parents, teachers, and especially the graduating class of 2022, Namaskar and a special good afternoon. 2 years ago, after completing the CSEC examinations, my fellow classmates and I chose to pursue CAPE at SVN. So our journey began. It was definitely not an easy one, as we were met with many adversities: the prevailing COVID-19 pandemic, the limited CAPE resources, and even the innate ability to adapt to the new content being thrown at us. Despite the challenges, we have persisted, and so today we stand proud to be graduating as the class of 2022. But we must not overlook the people who have supported us throughout this journey, and so I turn my attention to the said persons. To Swamiji, we are very much grateful for all of the efforts that you have invested into ensuring that we have a very fruitful CAPE journey, whether it was through the provision of one of the most comfortable environments to study in, the frequent check-ins, motivational talks, and even when you pushed us to do things outside of our comfort zone. We very much appreciate it, and we can guarantee that it will be something that we will keep with us for the rest of our lives. To the admin and our teachers, it has been a pleasure working together with each and every one of you. We are grateful for the time you have invested in not only teaching us, but motivating us, being our friends on this journey, and even being available to us at all hours of the day. And finally, to our parents, especially my parents and my sister, myself and my colleagues, thank you very much for your endless support and motivation, because without you, we would not have been here today and successful as we are. Going through this journey has not only made us grateful for the people who have supported us, but it has also taught us many lessons, whether it was how to study, how to work together as a team, how to organize and execute various events, and so much more. Given these lessons learned, I would like to encourage the upcoming CAPE students to work hard and learn your content, since application is very important in being successful at the CAPE examinations. But on this journey, do not forget to enjoy it and make memories with your friends, as those are the moments you will remember upon completion of your studies. I would like to turn my attention to my beloved class of 2022. The 9 of us have gone through it all during these 2 years. We have become the best of friends. I will miss the endless conversations we have on a daily basis, the games we play together, planning events together, and just sitting beside each and every one of you in the classroom. It was an honor to have worked with so many smart minds. I am sure we will be in contact for a very long time, given the relationship we have shared over these 2 years. I wish you the very best on your future journeys and look forward to the day when I hear you reigning in your careers. Finally, I would like to thank every person in the audience today who have took the time to come and celebrate this special moment with us. Thank you very much, and congratulations again to the class of 2022. Thank you.
Thank you, Atisha. Let's give her another round of applause. And we at SVN will keenly be awaiting when we hear about Atisha's accomplishments and that of her comrades later in the future. Good. We are now moving on to some special presentations to some of the students of the graduating class. We'll start with the CSEC students. Last year, SVN lost a very dear teacher who served as our mathematics exam teacher for many years. In his honor, I'd now like to call on Ms. Bhagmati Sarendranath to receive the Narayanath Rudranath Memorial Award for the best graduating student in mathematics CSEC. Presenting this award will be Mahendra Umadat, a member of SVN's class of 2013. Bhagmati, let's give her a round of applause. Thank you. I'll now like to call on Ms. Nisha Ramlakan to receive the Best Graduating Student in English CSEC. Presenting this award will be Mrs. Salome Itwaru, our grade 11 English teacher. Let's give Nisha a round of applause. At CAPE, we're giving an award to the best graduating CAPE student in law, Priya Budanlal. Please come forward to receive your award. Presenting the award will be Mrs. Ashmi Singh and Mr. Mark Amin. Mrs. Ashmi Singh is our CAPE law teacher. Let's give Priya a round of applause. These awards are compliments of Mrs. Ashmi Singh Business, Couture Caliente. She's giving that gift to her own law student, Priya Budanlal. Next, there is an award for the best graduating CAPE student in physics. This is a plaque plus a monetary award. Receiving this award will be Atish Dasinarain. And presenting the award will be Mr. Alfred Bulai, our CAPE physics teacher. Let's give Atishta a round of applause. Next, we know that the Cornelia Ida Temple Committee works hand in hand with SVN, especially when we have to pull off major events like these. And so every year they like to honor our best graduating students. I like to call on Miss Maria Hanuman to present these awards. She's the treasurer of the CI Mander. Receiving the award for the best graduating student at CSEC 2022 is Bhagmati Sarendranath. Let's give her a round of applause. Followed by the best graduating student at CAPE 2022, Atish Sinarain. Thank you. We also like to celebrate the achievements of our students who are still in school. This occasion serves as motivation for them, and so we recognize our students who were the top academic performers for the academic year 2021-2022. I'll now like to call on Nayan Persad, who is a past student of SVN from SVN's class of 2015, to make these presentations. Grade 7, we have Giselle Nicholson with an overall percentage of 95.56%. Emily Vamun Beria from grade 7 as well with 95.56%. Hemawati Dipchan, grade 8, 96%. Chitra Parbu, grade 9, 96.75%. Virendra Duki, grade 10, 94.43%. All right, let's give a final round of applause to these students who would have gained the highest overall percentage for all 3 terms for the last year. Thank you, Nayan. I'll now like to call on Chitra Parbu, who is our honor student for the academic year 2021-2022. Our honor student is the student who would have gotten the highest percentage for the entire school for the year 2021-2022. Chitra Parbu. Presenting the award is Dalshan Saran, our administrator here at SVN, sorry. All right, let's give Chitra a round of applause. Thank you. If you would have paid attention to the announcements of the results, you will know that some of our students were mentioned in the national performers. This time we have 4 of those students, and we would like to make some special presentations to them. To assist us, I would like to call on Dr. Ritesh Tularam, who is here representing the Office of the Minister of Education. This award is called the Minister of Education's Award of Excellence to the top 10 outstanding national performers. We have Mohammed Sultan with 15 grade 1s, 2 grade 2s. Ariana Singh, 15 grade 1s, 2 grade 2s. Naya Srimadhu, 16 grade 1s, 3 grade 2s. And Bhagmati Sarendranath, 16 grade 1s, 4 grade 2s. Let's give them a round of applause as they make their way to the stage. One of our CAPE students also made it to the list of national performers, so I'd like to call on Atish Sinarain to receive the Minister of Education's Award of Excellence for the top 10 outstanding national performer at CAPE 2022. Thank you, Dr. Tularam. Let's give these students another round of applause. And finally, there is a presentation, the Prime Minister's Award of Excellence, to our second best graduating student at CSEC. I'd like to call on Naya Srimadhu to receive this award. Presenting it will be Mr. Ramesh Sibaran, a longtime friend and well-wisher of SVN. Let's give Naya Shri a round of applause. Naya Shri got 16 grade 1s and 3 grade 2s. Included in this award is also a monetary award, compliments of Mr. Dev Rameshwar, who is a well-wisher at SVN, and he's also a son of the village of Cornelia Ida. Let's give Naya Shri a round of applause. All right, thank you. So that brings us to the end of this segment. Let's give all of our students, CSEC and CAPE, a last round of applause for all of their accomplishments. I'll now hand over the program back to our Madam Chairperson, Ms. Siv Sankar.
Tall people problems. Thank you, Rafina G, and a resounding round of applause for all the graduates. You guys have worked hard, and the hard work and perseverance and dedication has paid off. With that being said, we'll now go into the next part of our program. We'll now have a response from our second best graduating student, Nayastri Madhu, who attained 19 subjects at the CSEC. Nayastri Madhu, a little fun fact about her is that she's an aspiring neurosurgeon. So without further ado, I welcome Nayastri Madhu to the stage.
Swamiji, esteemed guests, invitees, proud parents, teachers, and most importantly, the graduates of the 2022 batch of students, my humblest namaskar. My name is Nayashri Madhu, and I was bestowed with the opportunity to present a speech, so it is my honor to stand before you this afternoon. Many of you may have heard the saying, Rome was not built within a day. This simply means that there is a need for time for achieving great things. Likewise, the 2022 batch of students commenced their studies at SVN back in 2017. 5 years has already elapsed, and we are here now with a mark in the school's history. Of course, many persons played a role in our accomplishments over that 5-year period. One of these persons is the founder and principal, Swamiji. SVN was established back in 2002 as an educational institution. Due to Swamiji's involvement and teachings by Subashitas, SVN has become a place known for its values, a rare characteristic among other secondary schools. Apart from this, Swamiji has established a system of online classes to cope with the pandemic which struck back in 2020. SVN was well prepared for outside circumstances, and despite the challenges which threatened the education of students in our country, SVN still managed to secure its students with a sound education. As such, I would like to thank Swamiji from the bottom of my heart for investing in our education and in our dreams. Of course, there couldn't have been classes online nor offline without the presence of our teachers. Our teachers truly tried, and some would say struggled with our batch of students without giving up. I remember they even sacrificed a week of teaching to help those students who are behind with SBAs. Our burden of SBAs, homework, and learning fell upon their shoulders. However, they never failed us. From accompanying us 7 days a week in Form 5 to going out of their way to ensure the SBAs submitted were genuine, to managing to up our intelligence, our teachers have truly put their hearts and souls into our education. Of course, SVN would not have been functional without teachers managing the matters of the school. The administrative and disciplinary bodies work endlessly also to ensure a peaceful environment in which students were capable of learning. Thus, I would like to thank all teachers, including the administrative and disciplinary bodies. Finally, our success would not have been possible without the help and support offered by our forest gods, our parents. They were there for us even before we were born. They managed to raise us, enhancing our basic characteristics and qualities. They made the decision to send us to the school and catered for our financial welfare, among other things. Our parents are truly the people that have been with us throughout every step we took in our lives. They endured those late nights we had to burn the midnight oil. They are right there with us. They coped with all the irritability we experienced, and most of all, they believed in us and truly wanted nothing more than to see us succeed in life. Thank you, parents and other family members who contributed to our education. You truly are our first teachers. To the batch of 2022, we were known as the most problematic batch in the school's history. But as we enter into the real world, we hope to turn over a new page as we start a new chapter in our lives. I wish that all the teachings of values would remain with you as you strive for the best and only the best. Also remember, your degree is an important feat in your education. However, true education can be seen in your behavior and your humility. And to the batch of 2023, please stay focused on your goal to achieve an education and remember to choose your company wisely. Best wishes. Thank you and namaskar.
Thank you, Nayasri Maru. Nayasri Maru said that class of 2022 was the most problematic. I think class of 2013 trumps that. It's no competition though. We will have Rafina G on stage very quickly to do another award.
Sorry, the student to receive the award is not here, but the head of the science department is on my case to announce it. SVN Science Department is awarding our best student, CSEC, for science, and that student will be receiving a monetary award plus a trophy. So the recipient of the award is Vinay Ramharak. He's not here, but let's clap for him nevertheless. Thank you.
Once again, thank you, Rafiniji. It's no surprise that what we learn at SVN goes far beyond the realms of textbooks and lectures, or far beyond our classroom education. And whatever we learn outside and inside of SVN has contributed to the holistic development of our mind. With that being said, the next item on the program is a bhajan done by no other than Pooja Lam, a grade 10 student. The bhajan is Vaishnava Jana.
वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे फिर पराई जाने रे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे फिर पराई जाने रे सकल लोकमान सहुने वन्ने निंदा न करे के नीरे वाच काच मन निश्चल राखे धन धन जननी ते नीरे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीर पराई जाने रे समदृष्टिने तृष्णा त्यागी परसृजेने माता रे जीवात की असत्य न बोले परधन न वजाले हाथा रे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे फिर पराई जाने रे मोह माया व्यापी नहीं जेने दृढ़ वैराग्य जेना मन मामरे राम नाम शु ताली लागी सकल तीरथ देना तन मामरे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे फिर पराई जाने रे वनलोभीने कपट रहित चे काम क्रोध निवार्य रे भने नरसयुतनम दर्शन करताम कुल एको तेरा तार्य रे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे फिर पराई जाने रे फिर पराई जाने रे
Beautifully done by Pooja Lam. Thank you so much. The next item on the program is a Subashita. Over years of being at SVN, Subashitas have been something that we've been taught for many, many years. Subashita has been part of our customs, and they do have a profound and a very pragmatic meaning for both students and teachers. With that being said, I will now like to call on our current CAPE student, Natram Chintaman, to recite the Subashita for us. A round of applause for Natram Chintaman, please.
Guruvo bahava santi shishya vittapahārakaha durlabha saguru loke shishya chittapahārakaha. There are many teachers who steal the wealth of the student. A teacher who captures the thoughts of the student is hard to find in this world. Thank you.
Thank you, Natram. SVN, as we know, has many teachers who've captured the thoughts of students. As an alumna at SVN, we do look up to our teachers, both the current and past teachers. I'll now introduce Nirmala Singhji, who is the Deputy Principal of SVN and a mathematics teacher, to do the principal's report. Nirmala Singhji, to the stage, please.
Thank you, Sunita ji. Om Saraswati Namastabhyam Bharare Kamarupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Swamiji, our chief guest, Dr. Kumar, renowned editor, Sri Padayalji, representative from the MOE, Dr. Ritesh Tolaram, respected guests, our trustees of SVN, friends of SVN, the graduating class, members of the Cornelia Ida Temple, students, teachers, parents, all, my humble namaskar to you, and thank you for being here. To our guests online, namaskar, and thank you for joining us. My job today here is to give you an overview of how the class performed. at both CSEC and CAPE. Okay. Firstly, congratulations to the class of 2022. We at SVN are pleased with your achievement, given that the learning loss due to the pandemic is very real. We are beginning to see the effects of that slowly. This report is based on the preliminary results released by CXC. A few of our students have requested reviews of their grades, and we're still awaiting those reviews, or the outcome of those reviews. So for the class of 2022 CSEC, a total of 78 students wrote the exam, 49 female, 29 male. SVN, as you know, or may not, has an open admission policy, meaning we take the very first child that comes. We do not care what their NGSE score is, and we're not concerned of their academic background. Whoever comes first, you get a place at SVN. That's it. So, as expected, we have a range of academic abilities that we work with. For this class, the lowest NGSA was 369, and the highest was 537, with an average of 471. SVN offered 20 subjects in the area of science, business, and follow the same trend as before, where the highest percentage is for grade 1, and so on you follow. So grade 1 accounted for 41%, grade 2 35, grade 3 15, grade 4 5, and grade 4 5, and grade 5 1. Another aspect of the results which determines how well we do is matriculation. What is matriculation? Students pass in at least 5 subjects, inclusive of math and English, so they can go on to other things. Our matriculation for this 2022 batch was 82%. That is 64 out of the 78 students have matriculated, with 62 of them doing so with 10 plus subjects. It's worthwhile to note that we secure a 98.72% pass in English language, and an 82% in mathematics. And as you know, these percentages are way above the regional and national averages. So how did we do in the subjects? 8 subjects recorded a pass rate of 100%. These subjects are additional mathematics, agricultural science, biology, EDPM, human and social biology, IT, information technology, office administration, and POB. We had a decline in performance in 5 subjects: Caribbean history, geography, math, principles of account, and Spanish. As you know, at SVN, Spanish is compulsory. So from the strongest student to the weakest one, they have to give it a try. We recorded improvement in additional mathematics, economics, English literature, which moved from 78% to 92%. For the other subjects, the performance were pretty much in line with the rest of the years in the 90s. I would have liked to share with you how or if we made it to the regional merit list, but what I'll do now is to give you our merit list for each subject, who is the best performing student. For additional mathematics, we have Vinay Ramharak. Agricultural science, Ariana Singh. Biology, Ariana Singh. Caribbean history, Mohammed Sultan. Chemistry, Mohammed Sultan. Economics, Sahana Haridat. EDPM, Nisha Ramlakan. By the way, now the students are knowing this. English language, Nisha Ramlakan. English literature, Nisha Ramlakan. I think Nisha should become an English teacher at SVN. Geography, Bagmati. Human and social biology, Nisha. Information technology, Mohammed Sultan. Integrated science, Ariana Singh. Mathematics, Bagmati. Office administration, Suraya and Darshini. Physics, Vinay Rambarak. Principles of account, Ariana Singh. Principles of business, Asmita. Social studies, Sahana Haridat. And Spanish, Ariana Singh. Well done. So, Let's look at some outstanding performance. As we know, the Ministry of Education would publish a list of candidates securing 12 plus grade 1, 8 plus grade 1. So the 8 plus grade 1 list had 213 students. Of that list, 29 were from SVN. This is outstanding given that our class size is what, 78? 17, yes, 78. And these kids are a varied background. An SVN student on that list had an NGSA of 456. Can you believe that? That's a placement in schools like Lenora, Pretentious, Shortville. How often do you see students of those schools making it on a list like that? Not very. But at SVN, it happens every single year. And that shows you that with the right environment, right determination, and cooperation from both students, parents, and teachers, you know, students can do well. There were 4 students whose NGSA was below 425, and they have matriculated. These students, we would like to, you know, pay tribute to you. Daniel Clive Lloyd with 9 subjects, Sahana Dubey with 11 subjects, Hem Kumari Paul with 12 subjects, Amanda Peer with 15 subjects. By the way, Amanda is a student from the hinterland. And on that 8 plus grade 1 list, there was one student who was also from the hinterland, Navendra. So somebody decided, so let's take a step back to 2017. That's the year when these children wrote Common Entrance. And as usual with Common Entrance, the top 1% is published. Yeah, somebody's getting worried. That list, I believe, consisted of 136 students. Of that 136, 8 came to SVN. The rest went to QC and Saints, I believe. 6 out of that 8 made it to the CSEC 1% list again, or the 8 plus grade 1 list. So, and QC, how many made it? 43. And that school gets the rest of them. What happened to those students is a question mark. It's something we've been thinking about. It's not about pointing fingers, it's not about putting any, but what happened? The reason for that comparison is to look for consistency and understanding what is happening in our education system. So it's something we will be doing every year now, just trying to see if there's a correlation. What happened to these children? On that note, we'll go to CAPE. So over the years, SVN CAPE program has really grown. As you've heard, it was the first school on the West Coast to do CAPE. Now we have CAPE offer at West End, which is very good, because only the other day we've heard how expensive it is to go to Georgetown School to do CAPE. Even though the education is free, there's still so much other expenses that make things a bit more difficult. And the importance of CAPE, we cannot emphasize this enough, because universities demand that 2-year program, or at least a 12th grade, in order for admission. So at SVN, we had 18 students who did CAPE, 9 in year 1 and 9 in year 2. We offered 29 units, and students wrote from 4 to 9 units. The thing about CAPE at SVN is if a student wishes to do a subject, and we don't have it right now, we figure a way. We find a teacher, we find a lecturer to offer that service. Our pass rate for CAPE usually counts grade 1 to 5 as pass. So for grade 1s to 3, our pass rate was 80%, 1 to 4 was 90%, and 1 to 5 was 98%. So I think that's good. And the grade distribution of that, grade 1, 25%, grade 2, 34, grade 3, 20, grade 4, 10, and grade 5, 7. The students who have done really well, Miss Atisha, as we know, with her 18 ones units, And Miss Chaitra Singh this year, she had 4 1s and 3 grade 2s. So Chaitra, congratulations also. And to Priya Bodhanlal, congratulations, being the best law student. The law program here at SVN has really been doing well, and Miss Ashmi, you know, she encouraged students to do law here before moving on to the university. So that's it for the statistics. Many of our students, they have already moved on to higher studies, so congratulations, and we look forward to hearing from you and to keep that connection with SVN. And as we would encourage students, we also encourage our teachers to further their study. And as the students and parents would know, there are many teachers here and staff who are handling both work and furthering the study. Right now we have 2 teachers who are going to CPC. And prior to this year, we would have had to pay for private teachers. And I think the ministry just made a little change there where we do not have to pay. So that is something we are grateful. At this point, I would like to thank you for listening to me, for giving me this opportunity. And once again, congratulations to the class of 2022. Namaskar.
Thank you, Nirmalaji, for that very detailed report. Given SVN's open admission policy, it is truly remarkable that SVN is able to produce results of this magnitude. Don't you guys think so? A round of applause again for SVN and their results. And I think this is attributed to the conducive environment that is created through the cooperation amongst not only teachers and students, but to our parents also. We're quite aware that our parents are the ones that are here, that would drop us to school, that would make us breakfast, lunch, dinner, and they're there with us every day, all day. So a round of applause for our parents. The next item on the program is a special presentation done of the SVN Leader in Education Award. SVN has been doing this for quite a number of years to recognize persons who have contributed significantly in the field of education. I would now like to call on Ravi Devji to do the introduction for Sri Pat Dayalji, who will be receiving this award.
Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram. Swamiji, students of SVN, parents, representative of the Ministry of Education, honored guests, and well-wishers. It is indeed an honor for me to introduce this individual who will be receiving the Leader in Education National Award that is presented by SVN. Education is the foundation of all civilization. Without education, the law of the jungle will rule, and all of us, our lives will be, what they say, nasty, short, and brutish. In Guyana, we have had many educators who have brought us to where we are today, but some of them are not recognized. So today, we are honoring Sri Patrick Pat Dayal, an Orthodox Hindu who has contributed greatly to the advancement of Guyanese education and culture. For his contributions in these fields, as well as other fields, the state has honored him with the Cacique Crown of Honor, the CCH, and the Golden Arrow of Achievement, the AA. Sri Dayal was educated at the University of the West Indies in Mona, Jamaica, the University of London, and the University of Cambridge. He and the late Harold Prasad founded the National Archives of Guyana. And you have to understand the significance of this, because they say that they who do not know their history, you are doomed to repeat it. And if you don't have the archival records, it is very difficult to remember that history. And this is an individual who had the vision to help to found these national archives. And he served as the chief archivist for many years. His civil service career included being the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Education and Culture and executive chairman of the Advisory Committee on Broadcasting, which later became the National Broadcast Authority. The greater part of Sri Dayal's career was in education, where he taught for many years at Queen's College. And I have encountered many individuals from President Granger onwards who have spoken about him being a teacher of history, among other subjects. Many of his former students have contributed to development in all fields, both in Guyana and abroad. As head of the Department of Culture and its predecessor, the History and Arts Council, and his active involvement in several NGOs, including the Heritage Society and the Hindi Prachar Sabha, he did much to further Guyanese culture. One of the memorable achievements of the History and Arts Council was the production of a report that reformed the holiday structure of this country. Before then, only Christian holidays were recognized and commemorated. It was this report that was produced under the auspices of Sri Pat Dayal that we saw the introduction of 2 Hindu and 2 Muslim holidays, because they produced the report, I think in 1963, and then the government by 1967 enacted it into law. Sri Dayal and the late Eileen Cox, for the last 40 years, have been working to protect consumers. People like you and me who purchase stuff in the stores and all that. What protection do we have? They have been vigilant in sustaining a consumers association. And he still does a Sunday column in the Chronicle and Kaichur News on these consumer concerns. But if you were to read his columns, as I do every week, you can see that his interests range very, very wide. Very, very wide. He speaks on all subjects. And it was to my great pleasure that 2 years ago, we have this motto here, Satyam Vada Dharmam Chara, that speak the truth, but to actually do that. And he saw it fit to write a letter 2 years ago calling for the recount to be televised so all Guyana could be educated as to what our elections really said. He has always been a close friend of SVN and has dutifully attended the annual convocations, notwithstanding several infirmities that age bestows on all of us. I would like to call upon Sri Patrick Prabhu Dayal to come to the stage. Swamiji, who is an educator in his own right, one of the few persons to have earned a PhD from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, one of the most prestigious universities in the United States, to have then given that up to become principal as a Swami without any of these fancy letters behind your names. So Swamiji. Oh.
Very
Om Chandanam Vanitam Nityam Pavitram Papanashanam Aparam Hariti Nityam Lakshmiravasatu Sarvara Om Deepo Jyote Param Brahma Deepo Jyotira Janardanaha Deepo Haritume Papam Deepo Jyotira Namostute Om Yena Bado Bali Raja Danavendro Mahabalaha Tena Tvamadabadnami Rakshema Chalamachala Om Mallikari Sugandhini Malatyari Nivai Prabho Mayaritani Pujaratam Pushpani Pratigrahyatam
Thank you, Ravi, for such a very kind introduction. Swamiji, teachers, students, both the class, this class, a distinguished class of this year, as well as old students, parents, and distinguished guests. It is really a great honor to me this afternoon to come here, not merely because I'm being honored, and when you're at my age, and I'm quite old, I'm over 90, you tend to savor, to appreciate. You tend to appreciate very much gestures and gifts of this kind. Because unlike younger people, when you're at my age, you begin to understand fully what they mean. And I think this time I understand what this honor means. And I thank you, and thank you most heartily. Now, I would like to say one or two words to the students, which I think would be good for them to know. One, they should be reading and writing. You know, this is the age of the computer, of internet, and students and young people do not read as much as they should. They look at the internet or Google any information they want, and that's a short-sighted and shortcut without learning anything really. I would strongly advise every boy and girl here to read every day. You know, there are lists of books that you must be read. 100. I had a list of about 200 of them, which I have to look for and probably will publish. But anyway, this kind of list is available anywhere. And read these books. They must be read. All civilized human beings read them or are acquainted with them. And I would suggest that you read, but not only read, but I would suggest that you write. Try to write every day something. Maybe keep a diary where you can write a page every day. Because the more you write, the more proficient you become. You write much, much easier if you write all the time. I'm talking from my own personal experience, all these things. That's the first thing. Read, write. Second thing is that your school here, this Saraswati Vidya Niketan, is a very unique place. And it's something, I mean, you look at, I'm not talking about the results. I'm just talking about the ambience. Here am I, today, I'm sitting here and I am enjoying, drinking in, savoring this ambience. I look at the sky, I look at the decorations, I look at the students here, the young students with brilliant faces. And this is a memorable time. And I would advise everybody to try to have this kind of experience. I am having this today because it's something that will live with you for a very long time, maybe throughout your life. So your school, think about it all the time. Now in the English language, we call this the alma mater or alma mater. This is a Latin word meaning your beneficent mother, your mother that looked after you. And this is your alma mater. Respect it and always think about it. In the British system, you have places like Oxford and Cambridge and the public schools, which are not really public in England. They're very private and very exclusive schools. But the students from those places have a feeling for each other. And no matter how many years have passed by, they still do have this feeling. I remembered many years ago in the United States, I visited Dr. Brooms in the Midwest. Dr. Brooms is a very distinguished Guyanese in that area, and was staying a few days with him. And having breakfast with him, the school song, the QC school song came by, and although he hadn't been in Guyana for 50 years or 40 years, he knew the school song, and we were singing it together at breakfast. Now, the same kind of experience you can have in Saraswati Vidya Niketan, the same kind of feel. And I would feel that you, not only to your school, you must have that feeling, but to each other. Recognize each other as a friend, a colleague, a brother. One of the students distinguished students, talked about the class of 2022. I'm talking about the whole school. You have the same feeling. And the last word I would like to say is that your motto, the motto that you have encapsulates what you must do in your life. Speak the truth. There it is. Speak the truth. Go on, say it. Exactly. Now, that not only speak the truth, but act morally, act according to dharma, act according to righteousness, and never desert being using your intellect. Always use your intellect. If you do not use your intellect all the time, it will dry up. And you hear people having Alzheimer and this kind of thing and getting, they're not able to do anything. It's because they don't use their intellect. I'm, as I say, quite old, but I use my intellect all the time. And I can still think and write and read and understand and maybe criticize. But I enjoin you to use your intellect, keep working, keep studying. This is there in your motto. It's a great motto you have. Speak the truth, act righteously, and keep your intellect and body, of course, working. Now, if you did that, that is encapsulated in your motto, you could go through life and the future lives with a confidence and with a success that you would never dream of. Today, before I end, I would like once more to say this afternoon, I am transported into a dreamland again, and it's an experience. It's an afternoon that will always be in my memory, will always be with me at all times. And I will enjoin you also to treasure this afternoon, especially the ones who have been distinguished and received prizes and so on, because this is a time that will never come back again, never. So treasure it and keep it safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Sri Patayaji. We sure can echo some of those sentiments shared by him. He's truly an inspiration. And I'd also like to thank SVN for recognizing those who've made a profound impact in education. With that being said, I'll now call on the principal and founder of SVN, Swamiji, to make his presentations, in addition to introducing our guest speaker. Swamiji.
Namaskar. Well, like everybody has done, I want to thank all of you for being here. It's the first time after the COVID where we all had to be very careful, and we're happy that we've had this old atmosphere returning to us at SVN. And I want to thank all of you for coming out, parents and friends, to join with us on this remarkable occasion. Obviously, I would also like to congratulate our graduating students for their achievement. When you take into consideration that 10,000 students and more wrote CXC alone in Guyana, and only 213 of those 10,000 could score 8 grade 1s and more, it shakes you a little bit to your core. You wanted to know, what is it really we beat our chest about and celebrate nationally? But that is where we are. 14 grade 1s and more, barely 40 students in the whole of Guyana, out of 10,000. You wanted to know what is happening. Nirmalaji asked the question, what is happening at the bottom? Where are they going? what's the future for them? We don't know. And we are constantly talking about Guyana being the leader of education in the Caribbean. It's something that I question very much, but I promised myself I was not going to be controversial, but I don't know how it happened, but that's it. Before I go ahead, I would like to really recognize somebody here, that Miss Penville. Miss Penville, can you stand up, please? Miss Penville? There is Miss Penville. I'll tell you what, Miss Penville was invited by her grade 6 student to attend this graduation. Who's Yogeshwar? Stand up, please. It's a wonderful achievement. That this youngster could remember his grade 6 student and invite her to this graduation, I think that's a wonderful, wonderful gesture. So thank you, sir. Before I continue, I want to say that we are happy that the Ministry of Education has decided to pay for all teachers going to training college. Well, as a private school, we find it very difficult to compete with an oil booming economy. So I hope that the minister and the government is going to be thinking about the time not far from now where the government will begin to pay teachers in private school as well. As all the awards were being announced, Roshanji came forward and reminded me that his company would normally provide awards for the 3 top graduating students. So I just want to make that announcement and hold Roshanji down so that he doesn't get away from that. Thank you very much, Roshanji, for that gesture. Something that probably has not been known by a lot of people, these students who graduated at CSEC alone took home $2,220,000. Because all students who scored 12 grade 1s and more, all of them who scored 12 grade 1s and more, were given $10,000 for every one of those grade 1s. And all who scored 8 grade 1s and more were given $5,000 for those grade 1s, including $1,000 for every grade 1 below that. So when I added up the amount, it came up to be something like $2,220,000. You will understand why I'm saying that just now. Well, unfortunately, many of our friends could not be with us. We all know of the passing of Dr. Yesu Prasad and a very good friend of SVN, Naurang Prasad. They normally would be here on every occasion. Not many people know, but Yesu Prasad ji gave us very favorable terms for loans that we took from the Demara Bank. And apart from that, he himself had been extremely, on a personal level, extremely generous in his commitment to SVN. And so we remember him. We remember his love for this school, his commitment to this school. Narangji was another stalwart and a great supporter of our school. And he also passed on earlier than this year. We invited all the leading officials of the Demara Bank with the hope of letting them know that we expect to continue this generous relationship with the Demara Bank. So it is good to know when a school has a close relationship with a bank. So we know that some of our friends who would have loved to be here, other than that, could not be here. Justice Nandram Kisun, who has always graced our occasion, could not be here because of not feeling too well. And our sister Raihan Shah, who is at home looking after her 96-year-old father, she also could not be here. I'm sure they have us in their minds. I plan to do a couple of things here. One, I want to take some time to give some special recognition to some people. Well, Hemraji, you also have been one of the constant supporters of our school, not only by your presence here, but your generosity. We cannot forget that. The University of Guyana scholarship that you gave to one of our students for $1 million. We recognize that. I want to pay tribute to our sister Bonita, who has always been with us, Ramesh Sibaranji, Haji Roshan, and Roshan Jr., Shri Ravidevji, our friends from Takshila University have been very close to us, and they have provided all kinds of assistance to us, even to the extent of helping us out with teachers. And I remember that whenever Bonita comes, she always presents us with excellent books. So thank you very much, Bonita. Our dear friend and brother, Randy Prasad, a close brother and an illustrious son of this village, who is now with the Office of the President. Yogji, you are here also with your beautiful wife. I know you were one of our first speakers many, many years ago with Randy. So I'm happy that the two of you could be back here with us again. Bishji, after you took a leave of absence, you're here with us again. Bishmandeji? Where? Okay. So we're very, very glad to see you, Bishji, and we hope that we'll continue to grace our occasion whenever we have these things. So we are very, very grateful. We're happy that our math teacher who passed away gave the school $1 million that was decided upon before his passing, and he wanted that to be used for scholarship. So we are really tremendously grateful to that wonderful soul. Not only was he an outstanding teacher, unparalleled, but we did not even realize that his generosity extended beyond education, and he was going to make it in his will to pass on $1 million to us for our scholarship fund. So we all remember Rudraji very fondly. I know Padji is here, but Padji, you're a lot more to us in our country than perhaps what has been said. And the only thing that I can say that can encapsulate what we feel for you is that if we were to confer on you the title of being a rishi, according to the ancient Indian tradition. So that is how we value your contribution and your presence. As you were talking about QC, I just saw a letter the other day in the newspaper written by the son of Dudnath Hedram, who was one outstanding headmaster of that institution. Just imagine, after 150 years, all that QC could do is to have one Indian as a headmaster. It's an amazing feat that only in Guyana is possible. So welcome again, Padji, and thank you very much for being here. I'm not going to say much about Mahabirji because we'll leave that later on. Rameshji and Harnarayanji have been supporters of our scholarship fund from the time our school started. I don't have the figures, but you can imagine it is, that support has gone into millions and millions of dollars. Indi Bihari started a fund in perpetuity that has supported 2 of our students every year for scholarship. So we are really very grateful for that. Our friend of whom you heard earlier on, Omar Bisoon, also has decided to give $1 million for scholarship funds in memory of his late wife. So we are extremely grateful for that. The Sahadeo brothers of New York have always been strong in their support in many ways, obviously, and also financially. And they too have started a scholarship fund with an initial grant of $200,000, which they hope to continue. Takshila has been good to us, and they are taking care of the salary of one of our senior teachers since that teacher started in school almost more than 10 years ago. So all these are great contributions that we receive from many people, and we are really, really grateful for all of that. Chris Prasad of David Prasad Investment has written off the debts that we owe him to the tune of more than $10 million. Among the people who have been constant supporters of SVN is Harry Matai and his family. Unfortunately, they're not here today. Harry was telling me that if I would say anything about him, then he wouldn't come. But I told him that I had to say what I'm going to say now. So, you know, there has never been a time when we went to him or appealed to him or asked him for anything and we came away empty-handed. When you go there for something, you know, upon agreement, we go to receive a gift, but we just not only receive the gift, he made sure that he would also invite me for lunch. So it was, you know, and beyond supporting SVN, he's one of the persons you could turn to when there's an occasion like Holi or occasion like Diwali. Harry would be one of those persons who would be willing to extend himself to assist students as well as members of the community, and we're extremely grateful for that. Wonderful thing is that he has insisted that his son Suraj and daughter Kiran continue that, and in my presence he instructed them that on his passing, he still has a lot more years, they should continue that tradition of support to SVN. Our friends overseas, the Nirvana Humanitarian Foundation comes regularly to Guyana, and they hold an annual fair for us, a fundraising activity. This last July, they did that, and they raised upward of $1 million for us. But they're also supporting all the students from the Prabhu Sharan home in our village who are eligible to come to school here, and they provide scholarship for all of those students. Zara Reality in New York has been very gracious, outstanding, and generous in their support. And we cannot conclude this list without mentioning Ron Ramnarayanji, who owns Metro, and his 5 nephews, who have been the backbone of SVN in many, many ways. Those were the families that supported all of our scholarship students who went from SVN to for scholarships in the United States. But beyond that, they have supported our science building for several months before the COVID kicked in. Ron provided this school of $2 million per month, and that went on for several years, as a result of which we were able to put up that building. This is a kind of generosity. So when we hear sometimes that people don't support education, you know, we have to think again that we have wonderful people around, and they're all willing to extend their help and support. Now, why have I listed all of this? Because SVN must now think in terms of expansion. So we are contemplating a primary school, and more importantly, we are contemplating an SVN Institute of Technology. We have to look at a little bit of upgrade in our school. We have to install an elevator, and we are looking currently at how to secure the site of our building there on the road for a revetment. These things are going to cost a lot. I need not tell you we don't have a cent yet, but I know it will come, and that is why I took so much pain to outline to you the gracious support that we have had from many of our friends locally and abroad over the years who helped to build and make this what it is today. Without them, we could not have achieved anything at all. So one friend remarked to me, look here, parents are happy that, one parent told us a few years ago that my child has now come home after 5 years. For 5 years, I had no worries at all. No worries where this, mother said, where this picnic on, when he go come home, no worries. So I'm saying that if you value that, if you value that education, if you value that environment, please don't, even once these students have gone, think that our relationship must come to an end. We have to continue building and pushing, and we'll be coming to you, parents as well, to assist us in one way or another. So I thought I'd take this amount of time just to review those things. I know that our students have been given a lot of advice, and a lot more will be given to you. I wanted to take a couple of minutes, but I'm just going to use one or two examples just to remember some of the things we've been talking about with you, to you for the last 5 years. It was said in our prayer earlier on, right? Karagre vasate Lakshmi, that Lakshmi resides at the tip of her hands. Karamadhye Saraswati, that Saraswati resides in the center. Karamule to Govindaha, and Govinda resides at the root of the palm. Your hands, therefore, are blessed. And always keep in mind that your struggle, your future depends upon your hands. How you use those hands, those very blessed hands, that is how you're going to determine your future. Remember one thing that we've always said at SVN, take responsibility for yourselves. In our society, we have many people who point fingers about this failure and that failure. I remember a few months ago when 2 students from the GTI ran down another student and murdered him in Georgetown. Lots of people began pointing fingers. Oh, the system failed those 2 people. They had bad homes. They were not properly educated. All these things may be true, and we're not going to debate that. But the question is, what responsibility did those 2 young men have? Should they not bear any personal responsibility? And if we, to the extent we continue pointing our finger, we are going to exclude and forget all those who engage in activities. Like, I want you to remember that your future is in your hands. That is why we say that prayer. It means nothing less or nothing more. Your future is in your hands. You're going to make it, or you're going to break it. Right? Industry, commitment, these are the qualities you need. And if you possess these qualities, all the gods will run to support you. You need commitment, you need vigor, you need industry, you need strength, you need discipline. And once you have these things, the gods have no alternative but to come to your aid. So I just wanted to share these few very brief thoughts with you. And we look forward to you to continue this journey of excellence. And we want to promise all our parents that once we have your support and the support and commitment of our teachers, I can guarantee you that SVN is not going any way backwards. Thank you very much. Now, very briefly, I want to take this opportunity to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Kumar Mahabir, who is currently a professor at the University of Guyana in the Department of Anthropology. He's from Trinidad. I came in contact with him several years ago, and one of the interesting things that I found out about him was his interest in ordinary events, ordinary people, and ordinary things. Kumarji has books out on local vegetation in Trinidad, medicinal plants in Trinidad. Kumarji has books on people who are not known or who are not sung about or who are not talked about. He has a vision for a mission in Guyana. He wants to study the old architecture in housing in Guyana, because he goes through my street and sees some houses that architecture of which he has not seen in Trinidad. And that kind of architecture is going out. You know, those houses that had 2 steps, one at the back and one at the front, and with cow mouth and so on. You all know those things, right? We don't have that architecture anymore. And so he wants to record all of this. Can you believe this man was telling me that, you know what we need to do? We need to recognize people with special talent in our community. And an example he gave of people with special talent are the various people who cook at wedding houses, who cook at functions like this. These are people with very special talent. And we must write about them, speak about their story. He wants to meet as many old people as possible to hear their stories. He listened to the story of a neighbor of mine, alone. And when I met him later in the day, he was telling me about this person's story. That's the kind of scholar he is. Obviously, he's a great academic in his own right. He's a graduate, a PhD from the University of Florida in Gainesville. And so, Kumarji, having known all of this about you, I thought you'd be the best person to invite to speak to our graduating class. Thank you very much and welcome.
Om Chandanam Vanitam Nityam Pavitram Papanashanam Aparam Harite Nityam Lakshmiravasitu Sarvara Om Kritavariti Samayuktam Vagninaya Jitam Maya Deepam Grahanare Vishatralukya Trimirapaha Om Mallikari Sugandhini Malatyari Vai Prabho Mayaritani Pujaratam Pushpani Pratigrahyatam Om Yena Bado Bali Raja Dhanavendra Mahabalaha Tena Dvamadavannami Rakshema Chalama Chala.
Namaskar, Swamiji, graduating students of SVN, parents, teachers, brothers and sisters, specially invited guests, all protocol observed. It is my great pleasure and also an honor and a privilege to be invited here to speak to you this evening. Because this place is not only a place of learning, it's also a sacred space. So you students who are graduating this evening, on this momentous occasion, are graduating from a special space. And you no doubt are proud of your accomplishments and your achievements, and we are proud of you. And we have great hopes in you for the future because you have shown great promise. As you all know, Saraswati is a goddess of learning and the arts, and Vidya, Nikatan, means house of knowledge. So the name of the school alone, House of Knowledge, under Mother Saraswati's blessings, indicates the seriousness of the founder and principal of the school. This school is unique in many respects. As we have heard, there's an open admission policy. What is unique, this school is what we call a prestige schools. In Trinidad, where I'm from, students vie, tooth and nail, they fight, they struggle to get to a prestige school. And this is SVN is one of them. This school is also special because it has as a principal a man with a PhD and also a Swami. Which school in Guyana has those attributes? Which school in the Caribbean? So you are indeed privileged and indeed blessed to be graduating from this school that has provided holistic education. And Swamiji has been championing Sanatan Dharma and speaking out on behalf of the downtrodden here in Guyana and elsewhere. In his younger days, he was an activist who would march on the streets with placard and give public talks. He is certainly a man that deserves our admiration and honor. He is a principal who works for no salary, does not take a salary. Which school do you know does that? In Guyana? In the Caribbean? Which school? And he has demonstrated his talent. He still writes articles in the newspapers and magazines and peer-reviewed journals. Which principal of which school do you know writes like that? They may write letters, but look at the quality of the writing, the fluency, the diction, the grammar. He is not only a principal and a teacher, but also a practitioner. He has established here a Vidya Ratna, a jewel of knowledge. And you are a product of this house of knowledge. You are gems. You must wear this badge of honor with you wherever you go. And be proud that you have graduated from this school. You must tell everyone that. And you must thank your teaching staff, the administrators, the people in the office, the janitors, everybody who has contributed to your well-being in this facility through their love and their labor and dedication. The word education is derived from the Latin word educare, which means to train, to mold, to bring up. And this school has trained you, has brought you up to be exemplars in the society, to draw out the talent which was latent in you. I am sure you did not realize that you could have passed so many subjects. I am sure you did not realize that you had such potential and to get distinctions in so many subjects. So for that, you should be grateful. And the results of SVN's principal and teaching staff are plain to see. There is evidence. There is you. You are the evidence. You are the product. No doubt, many of you know about the prestigious Lester B. Pearson Scholarship. How many of you know about that? Have you heard about the Lester B. Pearson Scholarship, P-E-A-R-S-O-N? How many of you? Raise your hands. Okay, good. Few of you. So the Lester B. Pearson Scholarship enables students to study at a top Canadian university. And it is awarded to international students like you who demonstrate excellent academic abilities. and who have a drive to lead the improvement of their own communities. This Lester B. Pearson Scholarship has been won twice by this school. Not once, but twice. In 2018 by Vimadev Hiralal, and again in 2020 by Narendra Prasad. And this Prasad is not spelled like our Prasad in Trinidad, it's P-E-R-S-A-U-D. And that is how we identify Guyanese in Trinidad, by the spelling of their names. But no student in Guyana has ever won this scholarship, except SVN, who had two brilliant students who accomplished this feat. And surely there will be more to come. This school is known all over Trinidad, all over. This school is known in the Caribbean for many reasons, which I will disclose in a few minutes. There are students who have been awarded scholarships from this school to universities in the US. And some of these are private scholarships which have been negotiated by Swami, and we must be forever grateful to those donors. And some of those graduates have returned to the school as excellent teachers. And this is a theme of my discourse, giving back to the community that has nurtured you. This is the theme of my discourse. And this school was officially opened 19 years ago and has its first graduation 17 years ago. Its highest performing students in 2005 and 2006 are today the managers of the school's administration. They have returned to give back to the school and to the community. We are proud of SVN. It has consistently been placed in the top 1% of the CSEC results, with a 92.19% pass rate this year. And many achievers have been featured in the media. Even in Trinidad, the names of the students in this school have been featured, and sometimes the photographs. You're probably not aware of that. So it is a remarkable feat. And what makes this school different from the others is not only because it has a principal as a Swami and a principal who has a PhD, a doctorate. He never calls himself doctor. In fact, he doesn't like people to address him as doctor. And this is unique about this school, but it has this open admission policy, taking students who did not do well in the grade 6 national assessment, which we call common entrance in those days, and making them top performers in the country and the region. This is indeed something to admire and to celebrate. And I want to implore you that you must never forget your parents who have made the sacrifice for you to be at this stage in your life. You are not aware of the sacrifices your parents have made. You are not aware at all how they have suffered, have sacrificed money even to go to the doctor to buy medicine for themselves to give you so that you can pay the school fees and you can have books and you can have money to travel. They have sacrificed for a better tomorrow, and that tomorrow rests in you, is personified in you. So you must never forget them. You know what I see sometimes in Trinidad, and I'm sure it's elsewhere? Parents make so many sacrifices for their children, and they graduate from CSEC to Cape, they go to university, and then they get married. And the minute they begin to work, they leave the house, not giving back anything to the poor parents. The parents would not complain, the parents would not say anything. The pride of the parents is in the success of the children. So you must appreciate the sacrifices your parents and your siblings and your grandparents are making for you. And always tell them, thank you. I know what you have done. I have seen what you have done. I appreciate it. And this is a form of dharma, of giving, of doing. Dharma to family, to your community, to society, and to God. There are people like Swami and Ravidev, my brother, who have returned. They have made it big in the States. Ravidev, an attorney, has made it big. And instead of, and Swami could have been a professor in a university, a professor. But he sacrificed that to return home, to give to the community, to give to the society that has nurtured them. And this is admirable. This concept of seva, selfless service, it's the ultimate service to God. It is the true meaning of religion. And the SVN is a wonderful example of this dedication of seva. And this can be seen, for example, in the annual blood drive, in which staff and pupils of the school managed to provide around 10% of the nation's blood bank requirements for the year. A small school like this, providing 10%, giving blood. This is remarkable. And during the COVID pandemic, the school organized and donated hampers of foodstuff to the needy. Again, this is admirable, and you should be proud of the school for doing that. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up. They must be performed until you die. Until you die. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify the soul. There are many rich people in our community. But the rich people will be crying more than the poor people. They don't have nothing to give. And there is the belief that it is easier for you to get $1 or $100 from a poor person than a rich man. But little do these people know, who don't give charity, that God has blessed them with that wealth, just as God has blessed you with your knowledge. And you must make use of it by helping the less fortunate. So you are very intelligent students, and you must help. Don't wait until you get a job and you're working for a salary to give. Just by sharing your knowledge, teaching somebody something, showing them how to fill up an application form, how to fill up some kind of form for renewal of driver's license, helping people in whatever way you can. You must always do community service. And you must be proud of yourselves because you have achieved a lot in this school. This school has been the springboard of your success. And you must thank your parents and family members for the sacrifice that they have made as you go out into the world. And I hope all of you would continue your studies, to go to university, probably work in some industry. I would like to see some of you. I teach at UG. I would like to see some of you in my class. We are teaching online now, but soon we'll be in person because some construction is going on now, and we will meet those of you who teach, who choose to go to UG. There is a concept of paying it forward. Somebody has sacrificed for you to be here and to have achieved this success. And so too, when your time comes, or even now, you too must pay that debt by helping someone else. You know, my mother would always tell me, you know, when people help you, you hardly get thanks and appreciation from that same person. You get it from someone else. And that is the law of karma. So don't bother. If someone doesn't acknowledge what you have done for them, it will come. It will come by someone else. So in closing, and as we move forward, let us try our best to see SVN grow from strength to strength and expand. Swamiji has mentioned that the government is now paying the salaries of those who are going to the training college. And he expressed the wish that the government should also pay the salaries of teachers here. And that is good. And he must lobby for that. I have suggested to Swami that he gets together with the principals of the denominational schools and lobby the government to pay the salaries of teachers. Because your school fees is barely enough to pay the salaries. I understand there is an increase in salary in the government system, so certainly teachers here will be looking to match that and even surpass that. And so there should be a lobby, Swami, to press the government to pay the salaries of students. It's not new, it's not a new idea, not a new concept. It was done before here in Guyana, in the early history. It's done in Trinidad and Tobago. The Hindu schools, Muslim schools, Methodist school, all the denominational schools, the teachers, the staff, the principal are paid by the government. Do you know how the Hindu schools were established in Trinidad? They were first temples. The Mahasabha and others utilized the temples because these temples are basically closed 6 days a week. They are only open on a Sunday morning. And so people like Bade Sagan Maharaj and later his son-in-law Sat Maharaj converted these temples into schools and got the government to pay the salaries of the teachers. So that would be a big bonus for the school because the school needs money to complete the science lab. Swami has mentioned also that he plans to build a primary school and I guess a kindergarten and a technical school. And for a long time I have been telling him to set up a Hindu or Vedic university. I would volunteer. Or a school of theology. Where are our pundits training? Where? There's no formal institution, and Swamiji is best placed to do that. We really need technical schools in the region, in Trinidad and Tobago, in Guyana, because I always say it is easier to find a doctor and a lawyer than to find a tradesman, an electrician, a mason, a seamstress. You can't find them. So we need that school. And these projects are not for him, not for us, but for the community, for our people, and the future ahead. We have to take care of ourselves. Nobody, no government is going to look after our interests. We have to do that. Other groups are taking care of themselves. They see to it that there is no poor and needy person in the community. They take care of their followers. We are left vulnerable. We have nobody to seek our interests, really. So let us practice our dharma. Let us do seva by contributing to these projects. And I'll be here often trying to assist SVN in its expansion projects. You don't necessarily have to have money to help. You have some skill, you have some talent, and you can contribute in that way. So with that, I want to say thank you for listening to me so patiently. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Thank you for that stimulating speech, Dr. Kumar Mahabir. The next item in our program is the presentation of the President's Award of Excellence to the CSEC Best Graduating Student, Bhagmati Sarandradat. I'd like to call Dr. Randolph Prasad Ji to do that presentation. In addition to that presentation, I'd like to make known that there is a monetary award given to Bhagmati also, and that was contributed by Mr. Dave Rameshwar. I would like to now introduce the valedictorian of class of 2022. No stranger to the stage, Bhagmati Sarandranath. Please make your way to the stage. And I'm sure this is a title that Bhagmati has worked day in and day out for. She's currently a CAPE student here at SVN, and she hopes to pursue computer science in the future. I briefly spoke to Bhagmati at backstage, and Bhagmati is very kind, respectful, humble, and a little fun fact, I found out that we live in the same village. So Bhagmati, take it away.
Thank you, Miss, for that warm introduction. Om Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sara. Dr. Ritesh Tolaram, representative of the Office of the Minister of Education, respected guest speaker, special invitees, friends and well-wishers of SVN, Swamiji, parents, teachers, members of the graduating class of 2022, and other students, my humblest namaskar. It is an honor to be here today as the valedictorian of the graduating batch of 2022. Our 5 years at SVN were filled with great memories, moments, and many challenges alike, and we would not have arrived here today at this point without the guidance and support of many. Firstly, we are grateful to God for blessing our parents, teachers, and even us graduates with the mental and physical strengths to complete this journey. Truly, we have been gifted with some of the most hardworking persons who stood back to back with us throughout our time here at SVN. To my parents, I must acknowledge their determination to ensure I received the best education available. With just a catering business, my parents managed to finance the necessities and the education of 3 children attending private schools. My parents always managed to make ends meet and allowed us to carry on comfortably. My parents chose SVN as they knew the environment was safe and more comfortable for me to study, and this was the best decision they could have made. To Swamiji, we thank you for the guidance you provided us throughout the years, And we especially thank you for motivating us with the monetary promise which you upheld. On behalf of the graduating class, I would like to sincerely thank our teachers who were instrumental to our success. The teachers of SVN are truly relentless in the extent they go too far their students. We have teachers who teach multiple subjects to different classes. Many of them manage SBAs, past papers, and in-class tests for these classes while attending university classes themselves. All the members of the graduating class will agree that our teachers went above and beyond to ensure we submitted quality SBAs and were fully prepared for our examinations. To Krishnaji, you manage all your classes and still give us extra support when we fell out of line. In fact, you are the reason many of us are here today and that we made it this far. We will forever be grateful to you. Thank you. Finally, to my fellow graduates of 2022, I am grateful for the experiences we had shared from 1st to 5th form. Although we had our fair share of troubles throughout our years, we still had class coordination, especially when it came for preparation for many main events. And we had some of the best competitions in classes, which boosted our performances. We have completed yet another major chapter in our lives, and we must carefully choose how we decide to write our next chapter. We will be branching off to further our education, work, or any other things that we have in mind. And without a doubt, we'll encounter new faces and definitely new challenges, which we will now have to work on our own or we'll have our assistance in the future. To the current exam class, discipline is your friend and distraction is your enemy. As Swamiji has given us a Subashita, Sukarti chet tajed vidyam, vidyarati chet tajed sukam, Sukartinaha kutaha vidya, vidyaratinaha kutaha sukam. If the pursuit is pleasure, give up learning. If the pursuit is knowledge, give up enjoyment. For the pursuer of knowledge, what is the use of pleasure? For the pursuer of pleasure, what is the use of knowledge? In closing, I would like us to be reminded of the school's motto, Satyam Vara, Dharmam Chara, Swadhyayad Ma Pramadaha. Speak truth, practice Dharma, never abandon studies. Thank you and namaskar.
Thank you, Bagmati, for those kernels of wisdom. Another resounding round of applause, please, for our best graduating student. Bagmati clearly exemplifies so many remarkable traits. With that being said, there is no doubt that SVN is an esteemed institution in its true spirit, and it has groomed and taught us so many important lessons. I can attest to that. SVN is truly a great launchpad for our next endeavors. It has taught us to take on hard challenges and emerge successful. So thank you, SVN family. I'm proud to be a part. SVN has and will always be a big part of who we are today and who we will be tomorrow. On a final note, I would like to let the graduating class be aware that there are many past students in the audience and those all around who have helped to pull off this event. And I hope that in the near future, you will continue to remember SVN near and dear to your heart, and you'll offer your support to build a network of alumni. With that being said, we'll now go on to our closing prayers done by the students of grade 10.
Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om.
Thank you, students. We're almost nearing to the end of our program. I would like to finally call on Yuvita Prashadji, who will be doing the vote of thanks for us.
Namaskar. As we come to the end of today's program, I want to use this opportunity to extend our sincerest gratitude to the esteemed guests for taking the time to join us in celebrating the achievements of our students. They are no other than Dr. Ritesh Tularam, Dr. Randolph Prasad, Dr. Kumar Mohabir, Mr. Pat Dayal, Mr. Bish Pandey and his wife of PNP Insurance, Mr. Ravidev, Ms. Bonita Harris, Haji Roshan Khan and his son Roshan Lal, Mr. Hemraj Kisun, and Mr. Shabir Hussain. There are some guests who have joined us online as well. Dr. Somdat Mohabir, Mr. Ramnarayan Sahadio, Major General Retired Joe Singh, some past students of SVN, Ms. Susie Ramnarayan, all other special guests, including Mr. Chris Prasad, Dr. Lake Singh, and Mr. Gamraj Suku. We thank you for being part of this celebration. Also, special thank you to the graduates who took special time off to come and help us in preparation for their graduation. On behalf of SVN, I want to extend sincere gratitude for the generous contributions of the following persons and organizations. Chairs and tables were donated by Puran Brothers, Mr. Leknath Puran and Kalesh Puran. Doubleday International Hotel, Mr. Bojnarayan Bola. Bora Party Rentals, Mr. Nazrali and family. Trophies were donated by past student of SVN, Dr. Nandini Singh. Brandy's Home Furnishings, Mr. Lalta Digambar and family. APT and Sci-Fi Dave, done by Mr. Dave Rameshwar. Medex Pharmacy of Cornelia Ida, Vrinehoop and Parika. The trophy stall from Border Market, they donated a plaque for the best graduating student. Awards were donated by Couture Caliente by Ashmiji and Markji. A physics award for Atishta Sinarayan was donated by Alfred G. Also, the members of the Cornelia Ida Temple donated a plaque. Groceries were donated by Govinda Kewal, compliments of Kewal Supermarket. Special thanks to all the temple members of Cornelia Ida who helped us tremendously with the preparation for cooking. Uncle Georgie, Uncle Shivdat, Uncle Sunil, Uncle Diochan, and Mr. Dasrat. Also, the sofas on display were donated by Tayo's Furniture Store. We are very thankful for all your contributions. Swamiji, we thank you for establishing an institution like SVN and giving us all the opportunity to be here today. We are grateful for your vision and continued guidance in moving SVN forward. Parents, SVN is grateful that you entrusted the education of your children to us, and we cherish the years we have worked together to ensure their success. We are also grateful to the community of Cornelia Ida for always looking out for our students and providing a safe community throughout these 5 years. The preparations for this event takes a massive effort, and without the dedication and commitment of SVN staff and students, it would not be possible. As the coordinator of this graduation, I want to express gratitude to all the teachers and students who worked tirelessly to ensure the smooth flow of today's program. Special thanks to Harry Dave Danisar for helping us out with live streaming, accompanied by Lachman Singh for photography. Last but not least, SVN is sincerely grateful to our chairperson for today, Ms. Sunita Susankar, for taking the time to assist us. SVN wishes you continued success in all your future endeavors, and we hope that you will remain a part of our events in the future. Please forgive us if you're not mentioned, but please note that we appreciate everything you do for SVN. Once again, thank you everyone, and I'll now hand you back over to Sunita for final announcements. Thank you.
Thank you, UBTG. And with that, we've concluded our 18th graduation ceremony. I'd like to thank everyone for being here and being patient with us. I'd now like to call in Krishnaji to make final announcements.